Love in Star Wars is whack, especially when it comes to the Skywalkers. Today we're going to be talking about 4 generations of that whack. But yes, we would be honored if you would join us on today's episode of Star Wars Nerds and Geeks. I have had a lot of trouble recording this clip. First, my mind just went blank. I couldn't think of anything. Then, as I was recording, a car zoomed by, so I had to delete that recording. Then I finally get a perfect recording, and I accidentally delete it. But let's hope this one works. So, I'm betting that you can think of at least one of the examples I'm going to talk about today. I'm betting I can guess which one you are thinking of right now. But can you guess all 4 that I'm going to go through? And guess the reasons and everything? Tell me in the comments how many you were accurately able to guess and how many were surprises too. But without further ado, let's go into the first one. Oh my gosh, I cannot explain my frustration right now. This video is cursed. It's like I'm not supposed to publish it or something. Arg, I've been interrupted so many times. There's been so many noises. The recordings have been lost. I just recorded a pretty solid clip and I did everything I was supposed to do, and somehow the recording just vanished. Oh my gosh, this video is haunted. If you are watching this, be warned. This video is actually cursed. I just started doing the clip again and my mic died. I swear, if this video comes out, it's gonna be a miracle. Shmi Skywalker, mother of Anakin Skywalker. Shmi has lived a very tough life. When she was just a little girl, her and her parents were kidnapped by pirates and sold into slavery. She got to travel the galaxy as she was being put into all these different slave markets all across the galaxy. Finally, she ended up on Tatooine, where Gardula the Hutt, a female Hutt crime lord, bought her. She served Gardula the Hutt until Gardula lost her in a bet to Watto, and it was under Watto, I believe, that she had the child Anakin. So what's so weird about that, you might be thinking? I mean, sure, she's had a tough life, but nothing whack going on. That's where you're wrong. As Shmi puts it, there was no father. Anakin has no father. Which is kind of unusual, I guess. Yeah, that's kind of unusual. And I believe fits under the category of whack. Now we get to go to the next generation. I'm gonna skip the weird, awkward moments between Anakin and Padme that made everybody hate episode 2. I'm gonna skip the fact that Anakin essentially sacrificed the entire galaxy to save Padme, where in the end he is the one who kills her. I'm gonna skip all of that, even though that is very whack. We're going to go back to the roots, to the base, where it all began on Tatooine that one fateful day. Let's set the scene. Padme, or as she's known in this movie, Queen Amidala, was the youngest queen of Naboo. When she was elected, she was only 14 years old. To put that into perspective, here on Earth, especially in America, I don't know how the education system works in other countries, but she would be in high school. So, she's the queen of Naboo, and her entire planet is under siege by the Trade Federation, and she knows she has to get them off her planet. So the only way she can do that. She escapes. She feels terrible about leaving. Anyway, all this stuff going on doesn't really affect the story. But she is she's young. We don't know. I don't know exactly how old she is. There's probably an age, but she's close to the age of 14. She would probably be in high school. So she goes to Tatooine, and in Tatooine, she meets a boy. This boy, Anakin Skywalker. He was born a slave to Watto, and at the time of episode 1, he was 9 years old, or in grade school, elementary school, he's in 4th grade. Queen Amidala, she is in, she's a high school age. She's 14, 15, 16, maybe a junior, senior, or maybe even just a sophomore, but she's a high school age. And young Annie goes up to her and just starts flirting with her. Like, as you do, the 9-year-old flirting with the 15-year-old. Again, this, I feel, definitely counts as whack. See, when you're older, I don't feel like that age difference matters as much. But when you're younger, it's very, very obvious and very awkward to see that age difference. Again, imagine, if you will, that you are around the age of 15 and you're just doing your own thing, and suddenly this little 9-year-old comes up to you and starts flirting with you. Yeah, that's all I can say about this, but wow, that is really whack. Alright, so now we get to go to the one that you all have been waiting for. During the time of episode 4 and episode 5, when they were being written, they were being shot, they were being released, George Lucas was creating a sort of love triangle between Luke, Leia, and Han, to kind of create romantic tension between those 3 characters, and it adds another layer of depth to the movies, and it's pretty good. And if this were 1980, I'd be totally cool with it. I'd be like, yeah, this sounds pretty awesome, rooting for Luke, rooting for Han, whoever, yeah. But then George Lucas decides to throw us a curveball, and it's like, you know what, guys, I have a really smart idea. I'm going to create this movie. Episode 6 is going to be a great movie. It's going to conclude the original trilogy very well. We're going to make a really great movie. But we got to reveal some plot points. So, what I'm thinking is, what if Luke and Leia were both Skywalkers? Meaning that they're both siblings, and not even siblings. They're both twins. It's a great idea. Great idea. So that ends up happening. And so, post episode 6, every time we watch Empire Strikes Back, we get to see the scene. You know the scene. I don't need to describe it to you. You all see the scene in your mind. Yes. Luke and Leia. Again, as I said, in Star Wars, love is whack. You're like, wait a minute. You said there was 4 generations, but we've only gone through 3. How there's no more? Yes, there is. See, I'm pulling something out of nothing here, and their love really isn't that whack. But because I want to, I'm gonna make a mountain out of a molehill. I am going to make a big deal. I'm gonna take the tiniest things and make them ginormous. I am gonna find a way to make it whack. Rey and Ben Solo, aka Kylo Ren. Bit unexpected, but it is what it is. Nothing too wrong with it, nothing too whack with it. But, as I said earlier, I'm going to make a mountain out of a molehill. I am going to make it weird. I'm going to make it whack. So, first, at the end of episode 9, again, episode 9 spoilers, I'm assuming most people have seen episode 9 by now. But I just wanted to put that out just in case. But anyways, at the end of episode 9, Rey goes, somebody walks up to Rey and she's like, "Who are you?" "I'm Rey Skywalker." And she's essentially adopting herself into the Skywalker family. You know who else is part of the Skywalker family? That's right, Ben Solo. He may not have the last name Skywalker, but he is a Skywalker. And so that essentially means that she is taking him on as a stepbrother. And I guess it's happening afterwards, but like I said, mountain out of a molehill. I'm making a big deal out of nothing. But if you thought we were done, we are not. I'm gonna go into a little bit of Legends and use that information to make this even better, even more whack. So, in Legends, the way Anakin Skywalker was born is the Force kind of created him. But you can kind of say that in some Legends, I mean, it's very unclear, but if you read the right books and see it in the right way, and I'm especially thinking about the book Darth Plagueis, that's where I'm getting this information. But in the book Darth Plagueis and Darth Sidious work together to extend their life, make themselves immortal, and they were able to they were manipulating the Force, making it do things, dark science, whatnot. The Force had to balance itself, so Anakin Skywalker was created. That's kind of one way it's been told. Another way it's been told is that Sidious actually created Anakin Skywalker, that he used the Force and he impregnated Shmi Skywalker, which is a very interesting theory, and I can work that to my advantage to completely ruin Rey and Ben, because that's what I'm doing in this episode. I'm ruining every Skywalker relationship. But as I said, this is really confusing. So to help you understand it, first I'm going to put the family tree up on screen that I made to show you what I'm thinking. And second, I'm gonna have Amy explain it.
First, I must emphasize that this all comes from a very small part of Legends, and we're taking that small parts of Legends and making assumptions about it. Anyways, we can say that Chief Palpatine could be considered Anakin's father. Therefore, since Rey is the daughter of Palpatine, by this logic we can say that Rey could be considered Anakin's brother. Anakin's daughter, Leia, therefore could be considered Rey's niece. Finally, Leia's son, Ben, could be considered Rey's grandson. How's that for weird? But as I said earlier, we're just having fun. There is no way this is in any case true. Or is it? Bum bum bum.
Thank you, Amy. So yeah, like Amy said, by all of that logic, we can say that Rey is Ben Solo's grandma. But, that is a whole lot of pulling something out of nothing, which I excel at, so thank you very much. But with that, I am going to conclude this episode. Thank you for joining me, and as always, this is Star Wars Nerds and Geeks signing off. See you next time.